everybody, welcome to Harkins Technology. Today I'm going to show you how to install, set up, and use NGINX Proxy Manager, which is NGINX Reverse Proxy, basically the underlying topic. Here we are going to create a new Linux container in Proxmox. You can create a VM, a server, whatever, just have a box. So we're going to create a container, which is the exact same thing like a VM. We are naming it, giving it a password. We will put it somewhere to run from. Or actually, this is going to be creating it from a template. So we're going to use a Ubuntu server, standard 2024 or 24 version. 8 gigs is fine. I'll just store it on my SSD storage. 1 core, whatever. We'll give it a little bit more RAM. How about 2 gigs of RAM? We'll give it a static IP. First, let's see if an IP is being used or not. Ping 10. Looks like this IP is not being used on my network. 249, just something random. Give it your gateway, which is the firewall. This is a /24, so 255.255.255.0 subnet mask. And let's start it up when it's done. As this is starting, I will tell you in this video, I'm going to link in the description a GitHub of all the commands I am using to create and set up, install NGINX Proxy Manager. I'm going to be copy and pasting a few commands back and forth to this container to set it all up, and I will link this below. So here goes the new server called NGINX. Root, type in your password. It should have your IP reassigned, 249. Mine should be able to ping the internet. So I'm pinging Cloudflare, it's good. Sudo app update. I'm gonna update the repository. I'm gonna copy this command in, which is again updating it, but it's also trying to upgrade. So app update, app upgrade, which is the exact same thing we just had, so we actually didn't need to do that. Now we are going to install a CA certificate, GNUPG, LSB release, and wget. We are installing all of these packages. Now that has been installed, we are going to wget the Docker container ring. So this is going to be the pre-setup to download Docker. We are going to be running this in a container. We are going to be setting the Docker container ring permissions. So we are running this command. Next we're going to run this command about getting Docker. We'll do another apt update. And next we are going to install Docker, Docker CE, Docker Compose, a few different Docker repositories. And now with this being installed, we can test and see if we successfully have Docker. So let's run Docker, which we do not. Let's go and feed this into AI. I think the keyring might have been messed up here. But let's see. So we are on a end-of-life Ubuntu version. So we are going to update this, update the package manager, and then rerun the update the app store repository and upgrade Ubuntu. Then we can go and try this again. So we're upgrading all Ubuntu to something newer. Okay, so the upgrade has been finished. I'm gonna try skipping ahead, just reinstalling Docker, but we might have to add the keyrings again. Let's see what happens. So we are trying to install Docker CE, CE CLI, Container IO, Docker Compose, and it looks like it's installing this time. Okay, this has been installed. Let's check and see if we have Docker. We do. Docker Compose. We do. Look at that. Now we're going to create a folder in the optional folder on Linux for NGINX Proxy Manager. So we're going to create a directory. We're going to put it in optional, the parent directory, parent folder optional, and we're naming it NGINX Proxy Manager, so that's cd into this, optional, NGINX Proxy Manager. Now in here we are going to create a Docker Compose file, Docker or nano Docker Compose YAML. We are going to paste in this config for this container. So this is the NGINX Proxy Manager container. We're grabbing it from this repo. This is going to be the name. We're opening up these ports on the container, and we're going to have these data volumes on the container that live on this VM. So now we're going to do Docker Compose up, and we're going to detach it so we're not stuck in the seeing all the CLI for it starting this up. So we're now we're downloading this container and turning it on. And once this is done, we can do Docker PS, and that'll list any running containers in Docker. We can see if this is running or not. Okay, it has been downloaded and started up. Now let's do Docker PS. You can see it is running. So now let's see if we can actually get to it. So it'd be HTTP 10.0.0.4 or 249, and it's on port 81, one of the ports that we left open. And here we go, NGINX Proxy Manager. It has been installed. It is now running. This is going to be the initial setup. It's going to ask us to create a user. Here we go. So I'll just create myself. We'll do this. Now we have an NGINX proxy user. Now let's create something. So in this folder I have a web page that we can host. I'm going to run this with Python web server on port 80. So what you're going to need to do here, how this is going to work, we're going to have a DNS, whatever's hosting your public or your local DNS. We're going to make an override on that DNS to point at the web server, or this reverse proxy, which is an NGINX Proxy Manager. It's going to point at that, and then this proxy manager is going to run it to this page. So it's really useful for cases online where you want to have multiple different websites being hosted or pages being displayed online. You can point everything at this, and depending on the URL and what you type, you can route it to whatever page you want. So you could have one domain with multiple subdomains on it. That's one thing that's really useful. Or you can route traffic however you want with these, with the reverse proxies. So on a firewall, which is what mine is, we are going to go in here and set our DNS up, or actually it's services DNS. Oh, services DNS resolver. Down here I have a few different things being ran. So we're going to create a new public override for DNS. We can name it whatever we want. So how about chat.domain.com. So if we type in chat.domain.com on a URL up here, it will get routed to that whatever you're having hosted. So actually we'll just have that chat, and this will be domain.com, and we're going to be pointing this at the proxy manager we just created, 249, and that should be it. So if you type in chat@domain.com, it will go to the proxy. So we're going to save this, apply this. So now your public or your local DNS is going to route all traffic to the proxy. Now on the proxy itself, we have to go into here, create a proxy. Another useful nice thing about this is you can add SSL certificates to this, and it can automatically get a certificate online and use it on your domain, whatever you have on this. And as long, you don't even need to open any ports of the internet, and you could have a valid certificate from that's Encrypt and run it locally or use it locally on your network, so it abides by everything. So we're going to do this chat.domain.com. We are going to point it at what I'm running. So I will show you on this. Here, I'll show you my IP. Oh, you can see right here, 10.0.0.6. That's my local IP. So we're going to run this back on port 80, and we're running this web page. I will show you when we have it all up on port 80, and this should be good. So now we have this running on this too. Let me explain a little bit more too. So you can add extra proxies into this if you wanted, extra paths going to different URLs or different files. If you wanted to do a certificate, you could go into this and you could add a certificate with Let's Encrypt or whatever service, and it can, as long as you have, it can validate against you owning that DNS record or that domain name with DNS. Then you can use a DNS challenge, and it can go and verify and get a SSL certificate and renew it automatically for you. It's really nice, really useful. So I believe everything is set up now. So let's try it out. If you go to chat.domain.com, the firewall is pointing at this proxy, and the proxy is pointing at my local web server right here. So let's give it a try. Chat.domain.com. There we go. This is exactly what my web page is that I'm running. It's just a local LLM that I can run locally on my network. And this is it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. If you want to see more videos like this, please like and subscribe to my channel. I will post my GitHub in my description of the commands I use to run this and create this NGINX Reverse Proxy Manager. We'll see you all in the next video.